Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be working on this V-split stripe tumbler. I didn't really know what to call it because it's got a stripe, but it's also a V-split at the same time. So that's the best that I could come up with. But we're going to be working on a 20-ounce straight tumbler from the tumbler supply store. And I am working with these pattern vinyls and this clear white backed element sheet. All of those are from AB Designs Co. And I had this idea and I worked it up in my Silhouette Studio software to kind of give me an idea of where to go. And so what I did, okay, back up. I designed it and then I made it fit the exact dimensions of the height and the circumference of this tumbler. And then that's how I came up with the size of this V triangle to use and cut out of this first pattern vinyl. That was a long way to say that, but I cut that out and I applied that directly on a stainless tumbler. I prepped it and had it all ready to go. And I applied that V, or the triangle V, first. And then what I did was I took this double-sided tape. This one I just got from Hobby Lobby. I think this one's like 3/4 of an inch, if I remember correctly. I applied that right next to the triangle, and then we're going to apply some foils right over the top of that. I got both sides of that applied, and then I trimmed it off on the bottom so that it would also come to a perfect V. And then I pulled out this beautiful foil from Artistic Painting Studio. Fun fact, this is the first foil I ever ordered from there, and it is what turned me on completely to my love of foils. And again, like usual, I can't remember the name of it, so I'm so sorry for that. But let's move on. And I just did it one side at a time. I cut a little strip of the foil and then I peeled the backing off of one side and I laid down the foil, and then I just rubbed it in really well with my finger to get that good and burnished into that double-sided tape. And then I moved on to the second side. And the reason that I'm just burnishing it really well is because I wanted to make sure that it covers every part of that double-sided tape. And since the foil is really opaque, I didn't need to worry about painting anything underneath it. After that foil was applied, I'm going to go in and glitter the remaining portion of this tumbler. And I wanted something that was really close to the minty color of this pattern vinyl. So I just went in with a few glitters from Diamonds and Dust and created just a blend mixture that was really close to exactly what I wanted. So I'm just using Easy Breezy, Succulent, and Twinkle. I first mixed up some glitter glue and chalk paint, and I just painted it white and then mint colored on the bottom because we're going to do an ombre with the mixture and then just twinkle on the white portion. I then set that aside after I brushed off all of any loose glitter that may be anywhere else on the tumbler, and I set it aside to dry, and then I sprayed it really well with 2 coats of clear glossy spray paint and then gave it 2 coats of epoxy so that it was really smooth. Then once that was done, I trimmed out a piece of the purple vinyl. It didn't come together in a set, but I just loved the way that this purple vinyl picked up the hints of purple in that minty colored vinyl. So I cut, I think it's probably about 2 inches. I don't remember honestly, but I didn't want to cover up a lot of that V-split area. So I just did what I felt was a good little chunk to still get a good coverage where you can see a lot of that purple vinyl and not cover up a lot of that V-split, if that makes sense. So I just did it like a full tumbler wrap with just this little section with the hinge method, made sure it lined up, and then used my squeegee to push it while the backing did not want to come off. So I just kind of pulled it, squeegeed it down, pulled it, squeegeed it down. Got that laid down. And then we're going to do the same thing on the edge of this chunk that we did on the V-split, but the double-sided tape that I'm going to use is a little bit thinner, but I'm going to outline this vinyl with double-sided tape and also apply that same foil that we used on the outside of the V-split. Right after that, I'm going to go right in and stripe out the foil that we just applied, not the foil on the V-split yet. We're going to do that later. So I found this purple vinyl that I had in my stash. I think it's just from Hobby Lobby, and it matched the purple hearts perfectly. So I went in and striped out both sides of each stripe of foil, and then on top of that, I'm going to add this holographic opaly vinyl in the center of each purple stripe that I also had on hand. I think it also was from Hobby Lobby, but it was so perfect having that opaly look because it matched the opaly iridescent of the vinyl, of the foil, I mean. Right after that, I went in with 2 more small, thin coats of epoxy, and then we're going to do the same thing to the V-split foil stripe. I'm going to outline it in the purple and then in the opal iridescent color again in the middle of the purple. I'm going right over the purple and the foil of that stripe, so it just kind of adds like another layer for the striping, but I thought it was a fun little design element that's kind of eye-catching. After that, I gave it 1 more thin coat of epoxy so that we could apply these beautiful, clear, white-backed flowers. I mentioned before they're also from AB Designs Co. I always get my clear elements white-backed because then it's so much easier to apply them to any colored surface and really make them pop without blending in too much. So I decided that I wanted to add these flowers. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to use them, but I'll be honest, I really didn't like the way my glitter ombre turned out. It ended up being kind of choppy in my mind. It looks a little darker in the video, but to me, it just didn't have good enough of an ombre blend, so I kind of wanted to just cover that up. I decided to put one on the purple stripe, and then everything else is going to only fall in that ombre section, and then I'm going to trim off if it goes over into the foil stripe at all. So basically I just cut out some of the flowers and then just decided where I liked them on the tumbler, on the glitter portion, and just kind of eyeballed it and decided what looked good and placed them on. And then if they were on the foil, I just trimmed it off so it looked like it was more underneath than above. Does that make sense? I was really happy with the placement of all the flowers, but I felt like I still needed to fill in some of the space in between the flowers. I didn't want the flowers too close together because I didn't want them crammed, but I just was like it needs something else. So I decided to bring in the elements from the striping in the vinyl colors and cut out some hearts to also tie in the hearts from the stripe vinyl. So I just cut out some hearts in the opally bluish looking one here, and then the purple, and applied those randomly in between all the areas of the flowers. And then after that, it was all done. Well, it got 2 coats of epoxy, and then it was all done. And I debated if I should add a quote or a saying, but I just thought that the flowers were so beautiful that anything else that I add is really going to take away from the beautiful design of the flowers and the foil and the opal vinyl. So I stuck with no decal, no saying, no name, nothing. And I love this one so much. It is available on my website if you want to snag it before somebody else does. But that is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this long-winded. I know I get long-winded when I talk about it, and I'm so sorry if I'm just all over the place sometimes. But I appreciate and thank you so much for all of your love and support. I will leave all of the information down in the description box, the products I use, and where you can find me. I did want to quickly mention, I don't know if I've mentioned already here on any of my videos, that I will be doing a 12 Days of Christmas series starting December 1st. So from December 1st to December 12th, I will be posting a new tutorial every single day. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those. And if you hit the little bell notification, you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. And I also have another question for y'all. I've really been debating if I should start a mentorship group for you guys. It would just be a small monthly fee, and you would be in an exclusive group, and we would have exclusive tutorials, and it would be a lot smaller than a regular craft group. I could give you some one-on-one if you needed it, but I'm not sure. So let me know your thoughts on that also down in the comments if you don't mind, and tell me what you think. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.